Sources tell ABC News that President Donald Trump is now pushing the Justice Department for a major payback, a financial payback.
We're talking $230 million in taxpayer money for past investigations involving him.
All right, so let's just go over some of those cases that are involved in here. The Russia election influence investigation, interference investigation, the classified documents case, the classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. American taxpayers would indeed foot the bill if this were to go through for $230 million. ABC's Rachel Scott is at the White House with more. Hey, Rachel.
Charlene, Pedro, and Sam, this is an unprecedented request from the president that would require his own Justice Department to pay him $230 million of American taxpayer money. It's a settlement that would have to be signed off by top DOJ officials that could include the president's own former attorneys. This morning, sources tell ABC News that President Trump is pushing for a personal $230 million payout from the Justice Department as compensation for the federal investigations he's faced.
Well, I guess they probably owe me a lot of money for that. Probably, yeah, that's true.
That money would ultimately come from American taxpayers. The president now in charge of the department that investigated him for allegations of Russian meddling in the 2016 election and mishandling of classified documents in 2022. Storing them in a ballroom, storage room, and even a bathroom. The president filed 2 claims against the DOJ when he left office, claiming his privacy rights were violated. Those investigations were approved by federal judges with no evidence of malicious prosecution. If the settlement goes through, the president would personally collect nearly $250 million from American taxpayers, an unprecedented personal compensation for the nation's commander-in-chief from the very people who helped elect him into office.
It's interesting because I'm the one that makes the decision, right? And, that decision would have to go across my desk. And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. In other words, did you ever have one of those cases where you have to decide how much you're paying yourself in damages? But I was damaged very greatly, and any money that I would get, I would give to charity.
The Justice Department officials who would likely sign off on the payment were once President Trump's own personal lawyers, Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy Todd Blanche. All of it raising new ethics concerns. One ethics professor telling the New York Times the ethical conflict is just so basic and fundamental, you don't need a law professor to explain it. And Democrats calling the president's demand illegal.
It is definitively illegal. You can't simply transfer $230 million of taxpayer funds because Donald Trump has directed his sycophants within his administration to do just that.
Asked whether it would be a conflict of interest for those DOJ officials who once served as the president's own personal attorneys to sign off on such a settlement, the Justice Department tells us they will continue to follow the advice and counsel of career ethics officials. Reporting from the White House, Rachel Scott, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.